Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to day 22 with Ellie, Douglas, and Sebastian in Stardew Valley. Seems like a pretty good day to just lay around, maybe read a book or something. What do you think? Sounds good to me. Did we say that yesterday? Or was it the other day when it rained? It's gonna be a beautiful sunny day tomorrow. Fortune teller displeased. Of course they are, it's raining. Here's a tip for you adventurers out there. Don't forget your weapon's special attack. Swords can block incoming attacks, which is very useful when slimes are jumping at you. Clubs can pound the ground, sending enemies flying, and with a dagger you can perform super quick triple check attack. Be careful, or be safe. Sorry. So, we don't have to. I'd love to know why some of these, like, came undone, all their stuff over it. It's kind of weird, yeah? I'm going to mute this phone really quick before I have, like, stuff going off. So yeah, I just made a post. I've been making a lot of posts these last couple days. Unfortunately, it's literally about one of the only things I can do. I am poor, and I have no vehicle, so, I mean, there's really not much I can do. And I live in a very kind of rural area, so, at this point, there's really not much else I can do. Not that I don't plan on doing anything for the next 4 years, or the rest of my life. But at the moment, the only thing I can do is talk, which, you know, a lot of people like to roll their eyes at, but it's just, at the same time, it's just kind of like, well, you know. Change is made occasionally through speeches and arguments and, you know, arguments as in discussions, not fights. And, you know, it kind of thought about it, and it's just like, you know what, I've not been very quiet about other things. So why am I trying to be quiet about this? Especially because I'm really not quiet about it at all. It's just on here. On here I'm quiet about it. I am of legal age to vote. I know that shocks a lot of people. A lot of people think I'm some kind of like 12-year-old boy, but I'm not. I am a woman well advanced in her 30s. And I keep seeing these posts about, I don't think you're racist if you voted for Trump and blah blah blah. So I just made a post. And it's like, if high school taught you anything at all. Oh Lorsh, give me that back. If high school taught you anything at all, is that you do not get to decide how people view you. You don't. You could be some of the nicest people in the planet, and, you know, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. How other people want to see you is how they're going to see you. And if somebody is trying to tell you that your views can be a little bit skewed or taken the wrong way, like, I have a cousin who was sitting there griping about, it's like a second cousin, so like a distant cousin. She's like my mom's cousin, not necessarily my cousin. But, no, I do not want to eat garlic. Let us plant some more garlic, actually. I'd really rather not buy any more seeds, so let's just plant what we got. she complained about the people protesting. And it's like, people have the right to protest. They want to pretend that everything is said and done. And it's not. Electoral College actually does not even vote until mid-December. And he did not win the popular vote. So, yeah, so all the pretending like everything is closed, no longer a factor, is kind of baloney. I guess I'll get some more garlic since it'll cost, make us more money. I was like, and the right to protest is actually the First Amendment. It's above that Second Amendment. A lot of conservatives like to fight over. So they should definitely at least know those two, right? But she's just like, people should sit down and shut up and blah blah blah, get over it, blah blah blah. Let's see what Abby has to say. The valley looks more interesting in the rain, don't you think? Let's see what Pierre has to say. Probably something about buy stuff. Hey, Douglas, need any seeds or tree? Got it, I guess. Well, that's very interesting. Now this also comes on the heels. I mean, she has separated this week's protest from all the other protests that have been going on all year. All year. In regards to Trump, in regards to the words, in regards to the violence, in regards to, Black Lives Matter, in regards to a lot of things. And it's like, that's kind of part of the problem, isn't it? You don't see it as connected. And it's like, another problem, of course, is the fact that she is griping about the protests happening in New York and LA and all these other things. Now, the other protest she was griping about actually was happening in the state she lives in. But she didn't even make one singular peep about the KKK victory parade that was going to happen in her state. Not a single peep. Now, she'll sit there and defend herself about, I'm sure, because this is how it goes, right? She'll sit there and defend herself about how she shouldn't have to say anything because people should know that she doesn't support it. And it's just kind of like, they don't, and I'm sure it's more along like, they don't deserve any time, attention, or even a single word spoken. It's like, wait a second. So, people are supposed to naturally assume that you voted for, oh dear Lord, this one. Now, this is the funniest part about it. Douglas so totally would do this. Found Pierre's secret stash. Hey, who's in the bedroom? Ah! Secret stash of what? That's what I'm wondering. Whoa, how did you find that? Yo, quick, give it to me. Promise me you won't tell anyone about this. Your wife deserves to know about this. Nah, not your secrets from me. Thanks, I appreciate that. Just forget you ever saw this, okay? I'll just forget that you were snooping around in my bedroom. Yeah. Grumble. Now I have to find a new hiding spot. I can guess what it is. Like I said, it's Farmer Douglas. It sure is. And again, though, back to the original point and the original post. Well, it's not the original post, believe me. This is just the most recent one. That you don't get to decide how people view you. Of course, nothing here. Processed genes. Hey, Clint. Yeah. Be glad you're a farmer, Douglas. It's nicer to work outdoors than by a hot furnace all day. I'm only a blacksmith because my father pushed me into it. Um, so when she sits there and says she voted for Trump, who was backed by the KKK, and then complains about the Black Lives Matter movement, that they're rioting in the streets, and sits there and people were saying, you know, oh, the only reason they voted for Trump got elected was because of jobs, 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 jobs. And yet at the same time, the comment on it was, oh, did you see the fact that, you know, Trump voters wouldn't be protesting because they have jobs? And it's like, hold up, wait a minute. Isn't that the reason why y'all supposedly elected him? And now you've done 360 on that, or 180 on that. So yeah, it's just like when you sit there and don't make a single peep against the KKK, that is actually going to be having a victory parade in your state. You sit there and you complain about the Black Lives Matter movement. I am very happy. Glad the amulet worked out for you, Eli. Yes. Very happy. And then you wonder why people assume you're racist. It's just like, well, gee, I've been trying to point out to you this whole time why people are assuming you're racist. You don't get to decide. And that's like the whole freaking world right now thinks we're racist. Every single one. The only people that don't think we're racist at this point are Trump voters. And it's just like, it's a plain and simple fact. It doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter that I didn't vote for Trump. I'm getting viewed as racist, and there is literally nothing I could do about it. You know? Because, I mean, honestly, I am obviously failed to show even my family that the quote-unquote, well, I mean, not even the quote-unquote, I mean, this is plain and simple fact, the error of their ways, you know? So, and that's the thing, it's like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't matter what you do behind the closed doors. It doesn't matter what you think in your little old brain about how not racist you are. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Not one single tiny bit does it matter how much you think you're not racist. It matters what other people think. Plain and simple. That's what matters. That's like, and I have seen so much stuff in the last few days that is just kind of, and that's the thing of it. This is the thing is, people are going to get so upset about it. They're going to get so offended. How dare you think I'm racist? Well, you know what? If you'd stop burying your head in the sand and, you know, actually speak out and do something, you know, or do something. Because like I said, at the moment, all I can do is speak out, and I'm sure it's irritating the piss out of people, but I really don't care. Oh, not the cake. Oh, I got clams in here. Oh, he's sitting there viewing the fireplace. Isn't that cute? Hey, baby. Have a gift. I really love this. How did you know? I'll never grow tired of the rain, especially out here in the countryside. Hugs. Okay. But yeah, again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what people... If you don't think you are. To think it all you don't want. Because that's just part of the problem. In the end, that's just part of the problem. You think you're not racist, so you don't bother to change. You don't bother to try and see anybody else's point of view. It's part of the problem. And it's sad. Because this is just this plain and simple thing. It's just like, nobody is 100% perfect. There ain't a single being on this planet that's 100% perfect. So you're gonna say something that's homophobic. You're gonna say something that's racist. You know, you're gonna say something that's going to show your ignorance in some shape or form. It's just that simple. It's gonna happen. Does that necessarily mean you're racist? No. But if you're unwilling to even admit, you know, even admit there's any sort of problem in this country. Because that's the thing, is it's like a lot of these people think racism is dead, sexism is dead, homophobia is dead, you know. Well, maybe not the homophobia one. I mean, that one was just so recent that but no, this is like, as what my best friend said, she said, you know, that they were going to have to start, hello farmer, let me take, I've been gone so long, I feel like a stranger, I'm sorry, kid. That someone said to her, let's make this clear, it wasn't her that said it, it was said to her that they were going to have to start being nice to the devil worshippers now, since Hillary Clinton was a devil worshipper, just like they had to start being nice to the gays. You know, because being a decent fucking human being is too much to ask, you know, to actually just be nice to people. I mean, that's just too much to ask. Heaven forbid. And again, that's the problem. You think political correctness is just, I don't even know. Instead of not being an asshole, you know, to people, it's their right to be an asshole. This is like, why do you want to be an asshole? I don't understand this. I do not understand this concept to me. It's very foreign. It's like, I'm trying not to raise assholes. Isn't that what your mama did? You know, try not to raise assholes? Why do you want to oppress people and talk badly about people and, you know, everybody's too sensitive? And it's just like, you're being sensitive as well, don't you think? I mean, if you're sensitive about everyone being sensitive, isn't that kind of like an oxymoron? So, or at the very least, hypocritical? So, I don't even know. Like I said, plain and simple fact, kiddies, you shall learn in high school, if you have not learned already, you do not get to decide how other people see you. And if you want to curtail potential problematic things, you should probably listen to other people's points of view. Not just assume that you're perfect and you don't need to change a thing. Right? Anyway. That's the end of the 22nd day of spring. I hope you enjoyed, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.